All right. Should we do a little news?
Sure. So let's do some sports news here. So the Clippers. So they are going to be playing in their new stadium next season, the Intuit.
I love their owner.
Yeah, Steve Ballmer.
Yeah,
he is enthusiastic.
when he gave me he started a little speech about bathrooms. I was like, I love this guy.
So
He's like, there are going to be more bathrooms here than any other arena ever. I was like, nice.
Yeah, he has some really great promises for the Intuit Dome, which they'll start in 24-25 season, the 2024-25 season. $2 billion arena located in Inglewood, about 18,000 people it could seat. But it's going to have a unique fan section. So they're going to call it The Wall. Mm-hmm. It's going to be located behind one of the baskets. It's going to be 51 uninterrupted rows of passionate Clippers fans. Mm-hmm. And so it'll be about 300 fans, but they have some rules if you want to get tickets for the wall. One, only for Clipper fans. If you choose to be part of the wall, you and your guests cannot cheer for the opposing team or wear any gear that supports our opponents.
All right.
Yeah, and any fan who breaks the wall code will lose access to the section.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So yeah, just a dedicated area for Clippers fans.
On each side.
Oh no, just one side.
Just one side. All right, but then when they switch sides, well, okay, then they'll boo. All right.
Are you for this?
Yeah, I'm for anything that sounds interesting or fun
anything
or different.
Anything that will engender local support for the actual local teams. LA continues to struggle with the notion that because LA is a desirable place for people to live from different parts of the country, they're going to be fans of other teams. And so they resist that. And I guess good for what they need to do. I know you've heard me say this. The Los Angeles Clippers will never, no matter what they do, they will never take over the LA Lakers. So they should be the Hollywood anythings. Anything you want to name them. I'm not, beggars can't be choosers. Ballmer, you're a great businessman. There's already an LA NBA team. It's called the Lakers. Move on. Become the Hollywood Knights, the Hollywood Stars, the Hollywood Rhinos. I don't care what it is. Forge a new identity. This is super weird to want to be like, hey, we're going to keep fighting back. The good fight. You're never going to win. Stop doing it.
Yeah. There's a movie called The Hollywood Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? There's precedent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there also last week there was some pretty notable press conferences that happened. Let's start off with Bucks coach Todd Bowles.
All right.
So he was asked, I know this game already happened for those listening, but he was asked how his team was going to prep for their upcoming game against the Lions as we record this, and this is what happened.
Coach, looking forward towards Detroit. The weather has been a factor in some of the playoff games, even for the most prepared teams. Today, it's 13 in Detroit, which doesn't compare to some of the temperatures we tend to drop to. Any special plans to acclimate the team to not only endure, but perform in those kind of frigid temperatures should you face them in Detroit?
You do know we play indoors, right? And they got a dome. No, nothing planned. We're indoors, and we only have to be outside for 20 seconds getting off the bus going under the thing, so we'll be okay.
I love
very nicely.
That, it always reminds me of, Byron, you got to find when the senator, or the congressman was asking the admiral from the Navy whether he thought Guam was going to capsize. That's always the greatest. To me, it's the answer part. Or like, you put too many troops on that island, it may turn over, right? And he's like, we don't anticipate that. Yeah.
Well, I like to go
they both gave the same kind of magnanimous answer. What the fuck was she thinking as a sports reporter?
I love it. There was also, I don't know if you saw the Packers reporter outside of Lambeau Field, and Jair Alexander, their star cornerback, ran up on camera while she's doing a live hit, and he's like, let's go Packers, or something like that. She's like, look, a local fan is very excited. It's like, I don't know how you come back from that. And I like to go to Super Bowls, and I like to ask the players and coaches if it's a must-win game. The key difference is I'm joking around.
That's right.
She was serious. That was a serious question, for goodness sakes.
We have the clip. Who's in the clip? He's currently a senator, isn't he? Who is that?
Robert
Dawson?
Willard?
No, that's the admiral.
Hank Johnson.
Hank Johnson, still in there. Okay. Hank Johnson's from where? Who represents? We'll find out who he represents. Anyway, here's a real question to the admiral.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that. The Guam population, I think, currently about 100.
He's from Georgia, Hank Johnson, still in there, but those are the people who represent us. Thinks Guam is going to tip over.
I just have a lot of respect for those when they answer the question. It's very respectful.
I could never.
Georgia across the aisle from Marge Green. What some group that they have that they're sending to D.C.
Some range.
Both sides of the aisle.
some range.
Excellent. That guy was serious. Hank Johnson was seemed to really be asking that seriously. Tip the island over?
I say to everyone all the time, whether it's like Hank Johnson or whether it's the reporter or whether it's the crazy Los Angeles City Councilwoman who was blaming Toyota for making the catalytic converters too easy to steal. Too easy. The thing that's welded underneath the car is too easy to steal. Everybody, run your cockamamie thoughts up someone else's flagpole before you go into this thing. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I got a doozy. I got a doozy for the coach. I'm going to ask him about the weather conditions. And then you jump in and go, they're playing in a dome. So ask another question. I'm going to talk about Guam capsize. Do not do that. You're going to have to get a CAT scan if you do it.
Work it out at an
I'm going
open
to blame
mic.
Toyota. I'm blaming Toyota for the steaming. Bad angle. Don't say anything. People will know you're Nimrod. Like,
you have people who work underneath you. You could float around them like, hey, I'm going to ask this guy, what do you think about that question? Before you go and ask.
Right.
Do I ask anybody near me, like, hey, I'm about to do this? Does that seem remotely amusing to you? Like if they're like, I don't get it, which is the answer I always get.
Right.
Which is my sad cross.
Yeah, we don't know what Frusian Glash is for the 33rd time, Shek, but okay.
Yeah, like nobody, it never occurs to you to like, I better double check before I ask something so foolish as this.
Or, see, in their mind, it's not foolish, but go ahead and check anyway because you have a rich history of foolish ideas. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, here's something foolish for you. From somebody who's very successful, but this was a weird move, I thought, from somebody who seems to have some sense. You like updates on our fantasy football league.
Of course.
Well, Bill Simmons was the front runner for most of the season. The Cool Cat, spelled with 2 Ks, helmed, as always, by Dave Dameshek. Unsurprisingly, made a hard charge, nearly caught him at the wire. Nevertheless, it was me or Simmons. It was pretty clear would probably win the whole thing when the playoffs got going. And Simmons decided in a group email to announce to other owners, as you may recall, the champion gets to kick out somebody of his choosing at the draft the following year. Simmons announces, hey, to whoever, you better be nicer to me because, like, I could still change my mind, but as it is, like, Dave Dameshek is definitely getting kicked out. Announces before the playoffs who he's kicking out. That's a bad idea in a kick-out lead. Sure enough, he got eliminated by Kevin Hench, who then turned around and eliminated Dameshek. So now my head's on the chopping block. But bad move, right? To announce your intent when the other guy who you announce may win and then have no choice but to say, well, I have dignity. I have to kick you out now.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Weird move.
It's a strange strategy, but you gotta admire his hubris.
Especially since he is the Cleveland Browns of the league. He's never won anything. I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers.
He's the
I win all the
sports guy.
time. I win all the time. He never wins. Who are you to talk stuff? What are you talking? What are you doing? Making noise. You've never won before. This is the magic year, and you're calling your shot in advance. Weird.
All right, we got another. What do we got? Another clip?
I mean, we have a. Do you want to do the Patriots coach or Sean Strickland?
Let's do Strickland because he's a fan favorite.
So Sean Strickland, he had a fight last weekend.
UFC fighter.
Yeah, at
Sean
this point,
Strickland.
At this point, he was a champ. So here's him talking to a
He
Canadian
beat
reporter.
Israel Alessandra, which is crazy.
We've got a pretty supportive gay and lesbian community in this city. I did want to ask you about something you wrote a couple of years ago. You said, if I had a gay son, I would think I'd...
Oh, look, another. I'm saying to you, the swamp, you guys, the swamp.
You become a champion, you become a star, and someone say...
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance to interact with a more diverse...
Are you... Let me know, are you gay?
Could I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking, this is a part of... Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
Oh man, well, dude, you're a weak fucking man, dude. You're part of the fucking problem. You elected Justin Trudeau, like, when he sees the bank accounts, like, you're just fucking pathetic. And the fact that you have no fucking backbone. And has he shut down your fucking country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid shit like that, go fuck yourself. Move the fuck on, man.
I feel like that doesn't really
coward.
answer the question, but I did want to ask also things you said about the trans community. You said this past October when they announced the Bud Light sponsorship that you'd go so hard on Bud Light in your next fight, they'll have to accept me or denounce me when they know what, and will know what they stand for.
This guy's like, hey, this Canadian's not that Canadian.
Are you still going to use your fight time to kind of speak on that?
Here's the thing about Bud Light. 10 years ago, to be trans was a mental fucking illness. And now all of a sudden, people like you have fucking weaseled your way into the world. You are an infection. You are the definition of weakness. Everything that is wrong with the world is because of fucking you. And the best thing is the world's not buying it. The world's not buying your fucking bullshit you're fucking peddling. The world is not saying, you know what? You're right. Fucking chicks have dicks. The world's not saying that. The world's saying, no, there are two genders. I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could fuck in school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their sexual preference. Like, dude, this guy is the fucking enemy. You want to look at the fucking enemy to our world? It's that motherfucker right there.
Yeah, so I don't think he went through a lot of media training.
Well, I went through media training, and I can tell you there's some of the talking points were in that.
Oh, okay.
I agree with him about Justin Trudeau. He's a complete fucking pussy and a coward, and he is going to destroy Canada. Remember, Canada is about 5 years ahead of California in terms of whatever it's trying to do. So look out for Canada. It's going to get shitty over there. But it's weird that UFC is the only sport where anyone can just say anything and they don't care. And I don't know if that's a Dana White thing, or there's no discipline, there's nobody jumping in, there's nobody being fined. I don't think. Could you imagine if he was a golfer? Could you imagine if he was in any other sport, but like NFL or golf, and just went on like that? You'd be out of the league, you'd be suspended, you'd be fined up the wazoo. UFC is just like, fuck it.
I don't know. I hear what you're saying. Yes, they are basically, and they obviously lean with Dana White on down. They lean in a certain political and, societal worldview. I think it's funny that in the NFL, remember Riley Cooper with the Eagles. I think he was N-bombing or whatever at a country music show.
Oh, that's right.
The Eagles suspended him for that.
Yes, that's right.
And John Gruden was going to get suspended, but then he walked away from it. And there was another one, too, where Richie Incognito, when he called that guy, when he called his teammate, remember all that? He got suspended by the Dolphins. What's interesting is Aaron Rodgers saying what he says. Woody Johnson is a known MAGA guy and, right-leaning and all of that. I wonder if the Jets, because
Woody Johnson
is the owner of the Jets, and so precedent by team is, he said something that is offensive to people, but Woody Johnson's not going to suspend Aaron Rodgers. I wonder what's going to happen here, because that is, borderline, you make the case, danger. The thing I hear from that MMA guy is, and both sides do it, it's this inability, the cognitive dissonance of like, the other side is trying to cancel everything. Like, well, the right is the one shooting beer cans, like, because they're upset about stuff. I think the weirdest one, it's all about trying to control. We all perceive ourselves, because of social media and otherwise, to have some control that we don't actually possess. I can tweet at Adam Carolla, and my words will be the same on Twitter as they are Adam Carolla. So we're even Steven. My words count as much as him. That's just a perception that isn't actually true. And I think it's weird that so many people are out there like trying to control the Taylor Swift. Stop cutting away to her. You're ruining my sport. I think it's super weird. Like, she's the most famous person on the planet. Her public whereabouts are news. Well, no matter where she is, getting groceries at a football game or otherwise, they're always going to be a camera.
You think she buys her own groceries? I agree.
I just think it's super weird that everybody wants to control. Like, stop showing her, and then they keep showing, her, and they're like, "I told you I didn't want that." Like, okay, well, I don't know. What do you want? She's famous. They're going to keep showing her. I'm afraid.
Agreed, and I don't mind, and especially when she's rocking and rolling with his mom up there. You know. I don't know. Hench has a theory that it has to do with her political leanings. Maybe it does. I don't think so. You tell me if this rings you, but like, do you guys ever have this thought? Like, I don't know, like there's people, I know some people personally that are huge Eagles fans that I do not like. And I don't know Bradley Cooper personally, but I know he's insane and possessed. And Bradley Cooper is living large about now. All the nominations, all the accolades, nobody's at the height of their powers like Bradley Cooper. And when I see the Eagles get blown out, I go, how's it feel, bitch? Oh. Like, I know Bradley Cooper sitting at home having a shitty night.
Right.
A really bad night. Like all the Maestro Awards and the Golden Globes and the BAFTAs and everything. Tonight, really? All out the window. He feels much worse than I feel. And I do think about the handful of guys, and if I like them, then I go, oh, man, I like Hench, and the Patriots are losing again, and I kind of feel that for him. But if I don't like him, I kind of go
you
like,
feel that's the way it works.
I know it's pretty elementary, but I should probably not be thinking about Bradley Cooper. I do not think that's going to help me write and direct my next nominated feature. Right. But I do see how pumped he is about the Eagles. And then also, where'd all these Philadelphia people come from? You know, I have a Philly, my dad's side of the family is a Philly family. I've lived in this town for my whole life. I didn't meet Philly guys. There was no Philly guys like anywhere. How did everyone like sort of magically become the Philly?
It's the way it is. People are front runners. When the Patriots had zero fans outside.
Zero fans.
There are a lot of, if you look at how they measure these things, the most popular franchise and everything, the Patriots are still on the list. There's a residual basking in the reflected glory that is now gone from there, but still, people, Patriots are in that. Like it's always the teams that are good. It says everything about the human condition or about society that a percentage of people are always going to try to attach themselves on who's doing well. And witness the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Raiders, and the Packers. Those are your most popular teams in the country.
Bulls fans we had to deal with in the 90s.
Oh, you don't hear much about the Bulls so much anymore, do you now? That's exactly right. When their teams are good, a lot of people latch onto them and claim, oh, yeah, I'm with them.
All time.
Living and dying with this team.
I have a question for you philosophically, Shaq. I was talking to Melanie Newman yesterday. I got a couple of picks that Chris is going to allude to, but I was talking to Melanie Newman, who's Paul Newman's daughter. And she was explaining that she lives in Connecticut and the family. Did I say Melanie? Sorry, Melissa. So, they have, I think he said a daughter named Mel, too, or something. Anyway, let's not digress. I was talking to Melissa Newman. And you can leave it on the screen, by the way, Byron. That's my new policy. He popped up Melissa and then popped it off. Because I could have another brain fart and go Melanie again. But Melissa Newman. And
impossible, says Dawson.
And
can't be done.
That's his job. So here's the deal. She's in Connecticut, and the home track was Lime Rock, and Paul would go and win a race there. And there's a picture of one of my cars, a two-seater, a TR6, a Triumph TR6, a little sports car, a two-seat sports car, which in racing form doesn't even have a passenger seat, just has the one seat for weight issues. And when Paul won the race and won the D production championship, 7 people got into a two-seater sports car. I mean, you think, you think about a little 70s British sports car.
Yeah.
7 people got in, and they went for a victory lap. So maybe we got a picture of that. All right, we'll put that up, and then I'll pose.
No.
Okay. All right. Chris, it's good to be on this side of the aisle, isn't it? See how see how it works now, right? Yes. Remember the 2-seater convertible part of the description. That's the other one.
That is, and like you just said, that is your car now, right? That's right down the street in the. Or anyway,
do we not? Does that picture not exist?
We put up yesterday. Yeah, we should have it.
It was just up for a second.
No, there's a wrong picture. Oh. Can somebody put the picture
one with the
up?
where she's holding the flag?
Well, there's only 2 pictures, right? Okay, that took way too long. All right, it is 7 people inside of a 2-seater, and including Melissa Newman, the daughter. Now, I don't know what could be more thrilling than your dad winning a race and you all piling in for a victory lap where you all just sat in there like homecoming queens. She's holding the flag, the checkered flag, and her dad, the great Paul Newman.
Looks like her mother, too. You can see that.
Yeah.
Is going to take a nice slow lap around. This is probably Road Atlanta where he won the championship. And then, anyway, there's another picture, which is the second one, and then I'll pose my question to you. Which you have to kind of zoom in on. But this is him winning. One is he wins the D production, and the next is he wins the C production. And once again, even though this time it's a closed car, it's a 280ZX, they pop the hatch in the back, and everyone piles into the car, and they go with 6 people in the car.
Like Spritel and Chim Chim used to do in the Mach 5. Right.
And they go for a victory lap, right? Now, here's the lesson for today, kids. This practice is now outlawed. And it's outlawed because it's too dangerous. Yep. Just like they've outlawed many, many things under the umbrella of it's too dangerous.
We'll never see this again.
We'll never see it. And worse yet, the kid will never experience it ever again. The 14-year-old daughter, the son, a memory that would be emblazoned in your mind for the woman is 61. I spoke to her the other day. It was like it happened yesterday. No more pictures, no more memories, because somebody may get injured.
Do you think it's just for racing or all around? Like, do you remember packing a car with all of your buddies, like to the brim, just to go?
I am saying, Dawson is our guest here, by the way. Okay. How would I? Don't you put the sign up in the thing when the? Is every day a brand new day, Byron? What I'm saying is like you got to do certain protocols, otherwise.
For the listener's sake, Adam said, "Shouldn't you put the sign up, guest here?" And then the sign went up. Now Adam, the guest is here.
Well, here's my problem, Shaq. I'm not stopping because the sign isn't up, so I don't think the guest is here. Is that right?
Adam, that's actually my fault. I saw
okay.
Chris tell you that he was here, and so I told Byron to just disregard the sign, so sorry about that.
Oh, did I miss that part?
Yeah, I said he's in studio.
How about
he's here
Emmy?
in studio.
That's
he's in studio and he's here already.
Ed, and then you responded to
Oh, you
Chris.
said he's in studio.
Yeah, and he's here already.
Oh, no, you just said the he's in studio part. You're talking about the guest?
Yeah, during the break.
And during the break, you said he was zooming in, and then you said he's in studio.
Yeah, he's in studio and he's here already.
But
And he
you
said,
left
I
off
thought
the
he was
here
zooming
part.
in, and then we had a conversation about being Zoom or.
I heard what Adam heard. I didn't think he was here yet. I thought he was on his way here physically. I didn't think he was physically
you didn't add
in
here already.
But either way, how about that Emmy? That's the way a man comports himself. Adam is a nice boss, but still tough.
You didn't add that part. You just said he's in studio. You said he's not zooming. He's in studio. And I said, oh, okay.
When you lose a big football
And then you
game,
said, we do. I said, why is there confusion? You said, because we do one letter. We do a Z for Zoom and an S for studio.
We had that conversation because I said, he's in studio and he's here. He's like, oh, I thought he was zooming in. I said, no.
You didn't say he's here already. That would have been really
you didn't say already.
Okay.
I have no stake.
Yeah,
in this.
look, if that's fine. Like you may be right. You probably right.
I am right because Sheck didn't hear it either.
It was during the break. There's music playing. There's a lot going on, but the reason
the two
that they didn't
people in the room did not hear you say he's here already.
I usually, if I know the guest is here and I don't see the sign up, I would have Byron, I would message him, hey, put the sign up. But I also believe that I said he was here, so I didn't even tell him that. And I thought that a few times throughout the show today.
Pee in his face, Adam. It's the only way he'll learn.
It's JV.
All right, don't do that. Just put the sign up because you didn't say he's here already because I would have went, that's really early, wasn't it? Anyway, I saw him wandering around. All right, Shek, you didn't hear here already.
I didn't hear it, but you know what?
All right, then.
What else is new with Donovan?
I could have been clearer and or more accurate.
Or you could have said what you said. But you didn't say. All right. So he is here, and that's why we got that. All right. So I was filibustering, but my point is this: in the name of safety, and this is global, these experiences have all been taken away, and what we've saved is, first off, I don't know anyone who was killed on a victory lap with their dad at Road Atlanta, but I'm sure to say a couple of pit guys may have had too many beers celebrating. Someone may have fallen out and skinned their knee at some point somewhere. I'm saying it's worth it. It's worth it for the picture. It's worth it to have the experience. I'm just saying globally, everything is in the name of safety, and no one argues with it. Everyone's like, well, it's too dangerous to do. Well, it's too dangerous. All right, but we're also robbing people of tons of experiences. California just tried to shut down Pee Wee football for people under 12 because it's too dangerous. Yes, but you're also robbing people of important experiences. That's why I need to vote.
I happen to agree with you, and your thing about the plastic beer bottles at stadiums is the point that always that I repeat all the time to people is we've overcorrected for all of society because there was one incident somewhere along the way. Completely. That's my complaint about outdoor stadiums. It's like, well, it's cold. It's not safe. It's not safe. What evidence is there of players getting hurt because it's colder outside? There isn't any. And then it's become, well, it's bad for the fans. You see a lot of people went to the hospital at Arrowhead because it was minus 15 out. Yeah, because they were taking their shirt off and drinking Fireball the whole game. That's not safe. There's personal responsibility. Did
they blame Mahomes' helmet breaking on the cold?
I think they did. I've never seen anything like that.
That is on the cold.
But I completely agree. You have ruined the experience of school marms who aren't going to the game anyway. It's too cold to go sit out at the game. It's like, I have gone to the game. I delude myself that these strangers down on the field care about my city as much as I do because they're wearing the proper colors that I'd like them to wear. And it's a shared experience. It's minus 1 degree out. And it's snowy and everything. I will never forget that. And when my team won and I survived that bitter cold right there alongside Troy Polamalu. Okay, I didn't have to run into 300-pound men, but nevertheless, I completely agree with what you're saying in spirit.
Okay, next time be more concise.
Oh, and
Dave Dameshek.
Impossible.
Yeah, and I should say that Gavin Newsom has publicly promised he will not sign legislation that bans football.
Everyone mark the calendar. I agree with Gavin Newsom. There, I said it. You're not going to hear it very often out of me, but I do agree with Newsom.